Seiko's watch market in 2025 is buzzing with shifts. Some models are skyrocketing in value, while others are perfectly affordable entries. Whether you're buying your first Seiko or you're hunting rare pieces for your collection, knowing the current market prices is a must. So in this video, we're going to break down every key Seiko model's retail and market prices, practical features, and investment potential. Plus, I'm going to share some insider tips on which ones to buy now and which to avoid. Stick around, there is a rare gem at the end that you don't want to miss. Let's start with the Seiko 5 Sports. Seiko 5 Sports remains the gateway drug to mechanical watches. Rugged, automatic, and endlessly wearable. In 2025, the collection holds strong at $75 to $300, with a 6 to 12% rise from 2024, mostly driven by demand for limited editions and entry-level automatics. You still get 100 meters of water resistance, Seiko's workhorse 4R36 movement, and hundreds of dial options, from stealthy blackouts to bright streetwear collabs. It's a volume collection, but it still matters for collectors. It's where the obsession starts. The SKX series. The SKX series within Seiko 5 Sports is where nostalgia meets mod culture. While the original ISO-certified SKX007 was discontinued in 2019, the SRPD line, often nicknamed SKX Successors, has taken up the mantle. In 2025, these watches are trending, both for their dive styling and their unmatched modding potential. Average resale prices sit at around $250 to $400, marking a 12 to 15% increase over 2024, with certain dial colors and JDM variants trading at a premium. Let's discover the standout model in this line that defines this modern reboot. The SRPD55. The SRPD55 is the modern SKX at its most versatile. Black dial, steel case, and just enough dive styling to nod to its predecessor without copying it outright. Powered by Seiko's 4R36 automatic movement, it offers 41 hours of power reserve, day-date functionality, and hacking seconds, a step up from the old SKX007. It wears larger than its 42.5mm case suggests, but thanks to a short 46mm lug-to-lug and slim 13.4mm profile, it is still daily friendly. The current market price sits at around $350 to $420, typically close to retail. This is the gateway Seiko, and for many, the first step into collecting. Now, let's move on to the Field series. The Field series within Seiko 5 Sports brings vintage military style into the modern wristwatch world. Inspired by classic Army-issued timepieces, these watches are compact, legible, and stripped down for pure function. In 2025, the average price has climbed to around $150 to $250, showing an 8 to 10% rise from last year, mostly due to consistent demand and growing appreciation among newer collectors. These pieces aren't flashy, but that's the charm. Matte dials, Arabic numerals, and durable canvas straps all keep it rugged and low-key. It's no surprise that the Field lineup has become a staple in the so-called first mechanical watch category. While newer models have been introduced, vintage-inspired icons like the SNK series still drive the collection's popularity and secondary market strength. So now, let's break down the model that still leads the pack, the SRPG33. This watch is the modern face of the Seiko 5 Field series. Classic military DNA wrapped up in a sharp, everyday-ready package. At $315 retail and priced between $270 and $320 in the secondary market, it runs on the dependable 4R36 automatic movement with manual winding, a 41-hour power reserve, and 24 joules under the hood. What stands out is its balance. At 39.4 millimeters wide and just 13.2 millimeters thick, it wears compact, but it never feels small. The curved Hardlex crystal adds some vintage charm, while the nylon strap keeps it rugged and utilitarian. It's lightweight at just 77 grams, which makes it a perfect everyday piece for someone who wants heritage looks without babying their watch. Now let's move on to the SNXS series. The SNXS series is where the Seiko 5 Sports leans into retro dress territory, and it's gaining serious traction. Known for its minimalist vintage styling, this series is built for those who want a touch of 70s charm without breaking the bank. In 2025, prices for SNXS models range between $200 and $350, a modest 10% rise from 2024. That growth is driven by the surge in interest around affordable vintage reissues and the sheer wearability of these pieces. It's not flashy, but that's exactly what makes it stand out. For collectors, the SNXS has become a gateway into vintage Seiko style. Small, clean, and surprisingly refined for the price. Which brings us to the SRPK89. This model is the modern crown jewel of the SNXS series. Vintage looks, upgraded specs, and still under the radar. At $415 retail and $250 to $300 on the secondary market, it is the most refined offering in the lineup, keeping the retro charm but tightening everything else up. The case shrinks to a sleek 37.4mm diameter with a wearable 12.5mm thickness, making it ideal for smaller wrists or those craving that true vintage fit. Inside, it runs the proven 4R36 movement with a 41-hour power reserve, manual winding, and hacking seconds, functionality that the original SNXS models never had. Plus, that see-through caseback gives you a glimpse of the beating heart. The SRPK89 is proof that retro isn't just back, it's getting smarter. Now, let's head into louder territory, the Seiko 5 Street series, starting with the Presage. Presage is where Seiko gets serious about elegance. No dye bezels, no military vibes, just pure mechanical refinement with Japanese artistry at the forefront. In 2025, the collection sits comfortably between $400 and $1,200, showing a 5 to 10% increase from 2024. That bump isn't about hype. It's about rising appreciation for handcrafted dials, traditional techniques like enamel and urushi lacquer, and the kind of finishing that punches way above its weight class. While it doesn't chase tool watch status, Presage delivers on beauty and substance, reliable automatic movements, sapphire crystals, and timeless case shapes. So let's start with the Cocktail Time series. The Cocktail Time series within Presage is where Seiko lets loose a little. Vibrant, elegant, and unexpectedly fun. Inspired by Japan's cocktail culture, these watches feature stunning sunburst dials named after drinks like Blue Moon, Bellini, and skydiving. But don't let the playful names fool you. These are seriously well-made dress watches. In 2025, they retail between $400 and $650, marking about a 7% rise from 2024, driven by growing global interest and continued social media buzz. Most models run on Seiko's 4R35 or 2R05 automatic movements, offering solid reliability, 40 hours plus of power reserve, and that smooth secondhand sweep that collectors love. Specifically, let's look at the SRPB41. The SRPB41, the Blue Moon, is a standout in the Presage Cocktail Time series, retailing at $525 with a market value of around $360 to $420 in 2025. Its deep midnight blue sunburst dial, inspired by the cocktail, dazzles under varying light. Powered by the 4R35 automatic movement, it offers a 41-hour power reserve and manual winding. At 40.5mm diameter and 11.8mm thickness, it balances presence with elegance. Features include a box-shaped Hardlex crystal, a see-through caseback, and a polished stainless steel case. High risk for flipping, it does have a low investment return, but it excels as a stylish, reliable daily dress watch. Next, we're going to explore the sharper Presage Classic series. The Classic series. This series is Seiko's quietest flex. No flashy colors, no trendy gimmicks, just minimalist design that is rooted in traditional Japanese aesthetics. Think clean dials, subtle textures, Roman numerals, and understated case shapes that feel more Kyoto tea house than Tokyo skyline. In 2025, this series ranges from $500 to $1,200, up 9% from 2024, mostly driven by its increasing appeal among collectors who are leaning back into timeless dress-first watches with real mechanical substance. These aren't the pieces that you buy to show off, they're what you wear when you know. And for collectors, this classic series has quietly become a go-to for daily dress pieces. Let's look at the SPB471. The SPB471 exemplifies the Presage Classic series. Timeless design paired with modern performance. Market price between $1,050 and $1,150, it features the advanced 6R5J movement with a 72-hour power reserve. The minimalist dial includes crisp markers and a 24-hour sub-dial, while the 40.2mm case is crafted from super hard-coated steel, topped with a dual-curved sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating for durability and clarity. At 13mm thick, it balances elegance and wrist presence. A transparent caseback showcases the movement. With a moderate wrist score, it's suited for long-term holding, but less ideal for quick flipping. Next up, let's discuss the Sharp Edge series. Sharp Edge series. The Sharp Edge series is where Seiko Presage goes full modern while keeping its roots in traditional Japanese artistry. Think of it as classic Seiko elegance, but sliced with a katana. In 2025, prices range from $800 to $1,400, showing a strong 10% rise from 2024 as collectors continue to chase pieces that blend heritage with bold design. What sets this series apart is the textured dial, based on the asanoha, or the hemp leaf pattern, a centuries-old motif symbolizing growth and prosperity. Combined with sapphire crystals, 70-hour power reserves in newer models, and solid movement architecture, these watches are as much about feel on the wrist as they are about visual impact. Specifically, let's look at the SPB471. The SPB471 is the flagship of the Sharp Edge series, combining robust specs with bold aesthetics. Retailing at around $1,400, it features the versatile 6R64 movement with a 24-hour hand, date hand, and power reserve indicator. Although its 45-hour power reserve is slightly shorter, its GMT functionality makes it ideal for travelers and collectors seeking practicality in a dressy package. The 42.2mm case and 13.7mm thickness provide a strong wrist presence, while the super hard-coated steel ensures durability. The standout Asanoha dial pattern adds dynamic texture and depth. Market price ranges from $1,000 to $1,100. With a moderate wrist score, it's suitable for long-term wear, but not quick flipping. Now let's move on to the Style60 series. The Style60 series is Seiko's love letter to its own history, specifically the 1964 Crown Chronograph, Japan's first ever wrist chronograph. In 2025, this retro modern lineup ranges from $500 to $850, with a 9% price bump from 2024, driven by collectors rediscovering vintage-inspired dress sport watches that don't feel dated. What makes these pieces special is their warm, earthy color palettes. Deep browns, olive greens, cream dials, all wrapped up in a mid-century silhouette that feels like it time-traveled from a jazz lounge to your wrist. It is a perfect blend of nostalgia and wearability, which is why the Style60 series has quickly become a favorite among younger collectors and vintage-curious buyers alike. Specifically, let's look at the SRPG03. The SRPG03 is a standout in the Style60 series, retailing at $550, but often trading closer to $460 to $520 on the secondary market in 2025. It offers a sleek, retro-inspired design with a 40.8mm stainless steel case, box-shaped hardlex crystal, and a rich black dial that nods to Seiko's 1964 Crown Chronograph roots. Inside, it runs on the 4R35 automatic movement with a 41-hour power reserve. Reliable, simple, and easy to service. While prices have risen about 9% since 2024, it is still one of the best value propositions in Seiko's dress lineup. It hits that sweet spot for collectors who are chasing vintage style without vintage maintenance. Now, let's look at the Seiko Prospex. The Prospex collection is Seiko's answer to serious tool watches, with a 2025 price range of $500 to $1,500 and a market value increase of 8 to 15% from 2024. That jump reflects rising demand for affordable professional-grade specs, especially in the diver and field categories. These watches are built for performance, ISO certified water resistance, screw down crowns, robust cases, and standout lume. While collectors love the heritage reissues like the 62 MAS or the Tuna, everyday buyers go for models that offer true dive-ready reliability without Swiss pricing. Let's look at the LX line. The Prospex LX line is Seiko's no-compromise flagship. Premium dive watches that are built with Grand Seiko level tech, but tuned for adventure. In 2025, market prices range from $4,000 to $6,000, up about 5% from last year's, largely due to rising demand for spring drive movements outside of Grand Seiko. These watches feature titanium cases, Zaratsu polishing, and ultra-smooth spring drive sweeps, blurring the line between tool watch and luxury piece. While they are overbuilt for daily use, collectors love them for that very reason. They're stealth luxury with specs to back it up. Specifically, let's look at the SNR33. The SNR33 stands as the crown jewel of the Prospex LX line, retailing at $6,000 in 2025 and maintaining a strong secondary market value between $4,200 and $6,800. Powered by the Spring Drive 5R66 movement, it offers give or take 1 second per day accuracy, a 72-hour power reserve, and a GMT function with calendar-linked time adjustments. The 44.8mm titanium case is lightweight yet durable, featuring super hard coating and Zaratsu polishing that is typically seen on Grand Seiko models. With a 24-hour rotating bezel, screw-down crown, and sapphire crystal with super clear coating, this watch blends rugged utility with refined luxury. A low risk score indicates strong long-term value retention. Now, let's move on to the Marinemaster series. The Marinemaster series is Seiko's deep sea powerhouse. Flagship-level divers watches that are built for extreme environments and serious collectors. In 2025, prices sit between $2,500 and $4,600, with a sharp 15% increase from 2024, thanks to renewed interest in high-end Seiko divers and limited-run reissues. What separates the Marinemaster from the rest of Prospex? Well, it's the no-compromise build. Monoblock or ultra-rigid cases, high torque automatic movements, and dive-ready specs that are tested beyond ISO standards. These watches are over-engineered in the best way, designed for saturation diving, and yet finished like luxury pieces. Collectors value them for their durability, their history, and their rising resale values. Specifically, let's look at the SLA081. The SLA081 is the ultimate statement piece in the Marinemaster lineup, retailing at $4,600 in 2025 and maintaining a strong market value between $4,400 and $4,800 thanks to its limited edition status and its professional dive credentials. Powered by the high-end 8L45 movement, it beats at 28,800 VPH with a 72-hour power reserve. The one-piece titanium case is rated for 600 meters saturation diving, measuring 45.4 millimeters wide and 16 millimeters thick. And yet, it remains surprisingly lightweight. Features like the dual-curved sapphire crystal and slide-adjust clasp all underline its professional-grade build. With a low risk score, the model reflects excellent long-term value retention. Now, let's move on to the Speedtimer Solar Chronograph. The Speedtimer Solar Chronograph is Seiko's modern nod to its legendary 1969 Speedtimer, the world's first automatic chronograph with a vertical clutch. In 2025, the collection ranges from $600 to $950, with a solid 10% price increase from 2024, driven by rising interest in vintage-inspired chronos that deliver everyday usability. Unlike the original mechanical speed timers, these run on solar-powered quartz movements, meaning zero battery swaps and spot-on accuracy, often to the second. You still get a vintage racing vibe, panda dials, tachometer bezels, recessed subdials, but now with a sleek wear-and-forget reliability that works for both daily wearers and collectors. It's the kind of watch that doesn't scream for attention, but it does get nods from those who know. Specifically, let's look at the SSC955. The SSC955 is the standout of the 2025 Speedtimer lineup. The limited edition celebrating the World Athletics Championships Tokyo 25, with only 6,000 pieces available. Retailing at $775, its market value is rising to $740 to $800 due to its collectability and sharp vintage style. Powered by the V192 solar movement, it offers give or take 15 seconds per month accuracy, a 60-minute chronograph, a power reserve indicator, and a 6-month charge life with no battery swaps. At 39mm by 13.3mm, it is compact and sporty, featuring a curved sapphire crystal and an engraved numbered caseback for collectors. Next, the King Seiko collection takes the stage. King Seiko. King Seiko isn't just a name, it's a legacy. First introduced in 1961 as Seiko's answer to the Swiss giants, it was built to rival Grand Seiko in precision, design, and finish. After decades in hibernation, the line was revived in 2022. And by 2025, it is more than just back, it's in demand. With current prices ranging from $800 to $1,500 and climbing 10% over 2024, King Seiko is cementing itself as Seiko's flagship for refined, everyday luxury. These watches channel sharp, mid-century case geometry, fine dial textures, and high-grade movements like the 6R31, all wrapped up in vintage proportions and modern finishing. Collectors are drawn to its heritage, while new buyers love its pure, understated formality. It's not loud, but it doesn't need to be. If Grand Seiko feels out of reach, this is the next closest thing, with its own unique history. Let's look at the KSK reissue. The King Seiko KSK reissue is the modern rebirth of a 1965 icon. And in 2025, it is turning heads with a market value between $1,200 and $3,500, up 10% from 2024. Why the surge? Well, because this isn't just a vintage reissue. It is a time capsule with upgraded internals. The sharp angular case, crisp brush surfaces, and box-style sapphire crystal all echo the original 1965 KSK, but now paired with modern calibers like the 6R31, offering a solid 70-hour power reserve. Collectors love it for the historical accuracy. Buyers love it for the everyday luxury feel without that Grand Seiko price tag. Let's look specifically at the SPB455. The SPB455 is a standout King Seiko model with a 2025 market price of around $2,000, marking a solid 10% increase from 2024. In the secondary market, the price ranges between $1,900 and $2,100. Blending vintage charm and modern performance, it features a 38.3mm case balancing classic and contemporary wearability. Powered by the 6R55 automatic movement, it offers a 72-hour power reserve and a daily precision of +25 to -15 seconds. The box-shaped sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating combines vintage aesthetics with modern durability. Extras include quick-release spring bars and 10-bar water resistance. With its clean dial and sharp case edges, the SPB455 exemplifies refined King Seiko craftsmanship. Now, let's move on to the Vanac series. The King Seiko Vanac series is making waves in 2025, priced between $3,000 and $3,300, with an impressive 18% jump from 2024. This series is a bold revival of a 1970s classic, celebrated for its sharp angular case and its unmistakable retro-futuristic vibe. More than half a century after its original debut, the Vanac now features modern mechanical movements that blend heritage with reliability. Collectors appreciate the strong design cues that set it apart from the more conservative King Seiko models, making it a statement piece that stands out in any collection. Specifically, let's look at the SLA083. The SLA083 from the King Seiko Vanac series commands attention in 2025, with a retail price of around $3,300, while the market price range is $3,200 to $3,400. This flagship model perfectly encapsulates Vanac's bold, angular design heritage, all while packing serious technical muscle. Powered by the 8L45 automatic movement, it boasts a solid 72-hour power reserve and a smooth 28,800 vibrations per hour, delivering precision and reliability. The 41mm stainless steel case features a striking box-shaped sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, enhancing both durability and vintage appeal. At 14.3 millimeters thick and weighing 192 grams, it offers a substantial yet comfortable wrist presence. The Astron. Seiko's Astron collection continues to lead innovation in 2025. Priced between $1,000 and $3,500 with a steady 7% increase from 2024. Famous as the world's first GPS solar watch, Astron redefined convenience by syncing automatically to your time zone via satellite. No manual adjustments needed. Beyond functionality, Astron watches feature sleek, modern designs that blend sporty and sophisticated styles, appealing to both daily wearers and collectors interested in cutting-edge technology. This is the perfect option for those who value precision and eco-friendly innovation, all wrapped up in a durable, stylish package. Specifically, let's look at the SSH180. The SSH180 Astron GPS Solar Limited Edition is a premium model priced at $3,300 retail and limited to just 1,500 pieces. Powered by the 5x83 GPS Solar caliber, it offers give or take 15 seconds per month accuracy, a 6-month power reserve, and extensive features like a 12-hour chronograph, perpetual calendar, and world time for 38 cities. The 44.3mm titanium case and dual-curved sapphire crystal all provide durability and style. Water-resistant 10-bar, it is ideal for collectors and travelers. Market prices range from $2,200 to $2,500, making it a strong value compared to retail. Now, moving on to Coutura. The Seiko Coutura collection embodies Seiko's commitment to modern elegance blended with advanced technology. Designed for urban professionals, it emphasizes sleek, sculpted cases with integrated bracelets and bold dial textures. The collection is dominated by solar-powered movements, often enhanced with radio sync atomic timekeeping, perpetual calendars, and chronograph functions, ensuring both style and functionality. In 2025, Coutura watches are priced between $250 and $1,050, reflecting a steady growth of 6 to 8% from the previous year. Their resale value remains moderate, with limited editions and radio sync models fetching the higher premiums. Popularity continues to rise in department stores and online, driven by consumers who are seeking low-maintenance, feature-rich watches without luxury price tags. Specifically, let's look at the SSB433. This model from Seiko's Coutura collection is a stylish quartz chronograph priced at $565 retail in 2025. The market value ranges from $520 to $580. Powered by the accurate AT63 caliber with give or take 15 seconds per month precision and a 3-year battery life, it features a 42mm stainless steel case with hard coating and a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal. The chronograph measures up to 60 minutes in 1/5 of a second increments, alongside a 24-hour hand and a date display. With a moderate risk score, the watch is best for long-term holding, not short-term flipping. And that wraps up our overview of the 2025 market value of Seiko watches. Each model balances unique style, advanced technology, and solid market presence, making them compelling picks for collectors and daily wearers alike. Whether you prioritize long-term value, or you simply want a dependable, beautiful timepiece, Seiko's diverse lineup has you covered. Stay tuned, everybody, as we continue to explore more watch collections, as well as trends that are shaping the industry. Thanks for watching, and happy watch hunting.